Welcome. Today we're going to do a deep dive analysis of a skill that's absolutely essential for any student of Mandarin, asking for and giving directions. We're going to go way beyond just memorizing phrases and really explore the logic, the culture, and the grammar that make it all work.
Okay, so picture this. You've just landed in a massive city, maybe Shanghai or Beijing. The signs are all in characters, there are people everywhere, and for whatever reason, your phone's map app isn't working. That feeling of being lost can be pretty overwhelming, right? Well, the good news is, if you master just a few key sentences, you can turn that moment of panic into a chance to actually connect with someone and find your way. And that's exactly what we're going to equip you with.
All right, let's set the scene for our lesson. We're going to break down a very common, very practical little conversation. To start, I just want you to listen to the whole thing in Mandarin. Don't worry about understanding every word yet, just get a feel for the rhythm and the flow of the exchange.
不好意思，请问地铁站在哪儿？你往前走，在第一个路口往右拐就到了。谢谢。
See, even without the translation, you can kind of hear the music in it, the natural back and forth. Now, let's start taking it apart piece by piece.
Okay, here's that same dialogue, but now we've got the pinyin to help with pronunciation and, of course, the English translation. Now, our goal here today is not for you to just memorize these lines. No, we want you to truly understand every single part of this conversation, from the hidden meaning in the characters themselves to the sentence structure and the really important cultural rules that are at play. So, let's begin where all language learning should, with the vocabulary. What's so amazing about studying Mandarin is that you're not just learning words. In a way, you're learning to decode pictures and ideas. There's a rich logic built right into the characters, and that's what we're going to explore first.
Let's kick things off with a really crucial character, Wang. Now take a close look at it. It's made of two parts. On the left, you've got the radical tu, which is all about a step or walking. And on the right, that's the character zhu, which means master. So you can kind of imagine a master guiding your steps, pointing you in a specific direction. It's not just random movement, it's directed movement. Pretty cool, right? Next up, let's look at zhou, Z-O. This one is such a perfect example of a pictograph. If you look at it, you can almost see a little stick figure striding forward, can't you? You can practically visualize the swinging arms and the moving legs. So whenever you use zhou, you are really talking about the very specific physical act of walking. It's simple, concrete, and clear.
Now for a more complex character, guai. There's a lot going on here. On the far left, we see the hand radical, shou. Then, on the right, you've got li, which means strength or power, and it's wrapped around kou, the character for mouth. So, what's the story here? Well, it suggests using force with your hand, like on a steering wheel or the handlebars of a bike, maybe combined with a spoken command to make something change direction. It's a very dynamic character that implies a deliberate choice to change your path.
So this table just pulls together those essential vocabulary words for us. And notice the logic here too. 地铁站 is literally earth iron station. That makes sense. Then you see our key word wang, paired with directions like front, qian, and right, yo. I love the word for intersection, lukou, which literally means road mouth. And finally, you have that great little phrase, 就到了, which basically means, and then you're there. Getting a solid handle on these words is the absolute first step. Okay, so we have our vocabulary words. You can think of those as our bricks. But you can't build a house with just a pile of bricks, right? You need a blueprint. And in language, grammar is that blueprint. It tells us how to put the words together in an order that actually makes sense. And in Mandarin, word order is everything. Now this slide, this is important. It shows a really fundamental difference in sentence structure between Mandarin and English. In English, we say subject, verb, direction. You walk forward. But look at the Mandarin structure. It's subject plus wang plus direction plus verb. So ni, wang, qian, zhou literally translates to you towards front walk. It's a completely different way of thinking about it. In Mandarin, you establish the direction of the action before you state the action itself. The direction comes first, then the movement. We're now moving on to what might be the single most critical part of this lesson. You can have perfect grammar and flawless pronunciation, but if you don't understand the cultural etiquette, the unspoken social map of how people interact, you're going to have a tough time. Language, at its core, is about connection, and that connection is built on respect. Let's really analyze these phrases. 不好意思, 不好意思 is so much more powerful than just excuse me. It literally means something like not good meaning or I feel embarrassed. What you're doing is signaling that you recognize you're interrupting their day.
that you're imposing. It's a way of being humble. Then, you follow that with 请问, 请问, please ask, which frames your question as a polite request, not a demand. In many Chinese-speaking cultures, maintaining social harmony and showing respect, this idea of giving face, or mianzi, is incredibly important. Using these polite phrases shows that you understand and respect that. It makes people want to help you. And of course, finishing with a clear, genuine 谢谢 is an absolute must.
Okay, it's time to put all of these pieces back together. The vocabulary, the grammar, and that crucial cultural awareness. We're going to focus now on how all of this actually sounds. As you know, Mandarin is a tonal language. Getting the tones wrong can completely change the meaning of a word, so getting the pronunciation right is essential for being understood.
All right, I'm going to read the dialogue one more time. I want you to listen very, very closely. Tune your ear to the melody of the tones, the rise and fall of the pitch in each sentence. I really encourage you to try and read along with me, even if you just whisper it. Ready?
不好意思，请问地铁站在哪儿？
你往前走，在第一个路口往右拐就到了。
谢谢。
This short dialogue is actually perfect for pointing out a few of the most common pronunciation pitfalls for non-native speakers. First, let's talk about the Z sound in zo. To make this sound, your tongue should be flat, with the tip just behind your top front teeth. It is not the ZH sound, which you find in words like junghua, and requires you to curl your tongue back. It's a very common mix-up. Second, notice the le in dale. That's a neutral tone. It should be light, quick, and unstressed, almost like an afterthought. Don't give it a full, heavy tone. And finally, the third tone. This is the dipping tone. For words like wang and guai, you have to make sure your voice actually goes down and then comes back up. Getting these little details right makes a huge difference in how clear you sound. So, to wrap things up, you now have a complete toolkit for this situation. You've got the vocabulary, and you understand the logic built into the very characters. You have the grammatical blueprint to put those words together correctly, and, maybe most importantly, you have the cultural insight to navigate the social side of the interaction with grace. So the question I'll leave you with isn't just, where will you go first? It's how will you take this deeper understanding of language and culture with you as you continue your journey in learning Mandarin?